machine. I'm Liz Earle and I do have a bit of a passion for eggs, not just because I keep my own fabulous Maran hens, which produce the most gorgeous glossy brown eggs with bright yellow centres, but eggs are the most fantastic superfood. You know, we think of them as just common or garden every day, but they are packed full of great quality protein. They've got so many different nutrients, amino acids, great things. If you're pregnant, eggs are really good because they contain choline, which is an important nutrient to have. It's been linked to helping to prevent neural tube defects. And they're just all-round goodness. So I'm going to show you how to make a really simple souffle. Now sometimes you go souffle, oh that sounds a bit fancy, and it'll collapse and go flat. They're the simplest thing to do. Great to eat, great supper dish, lunch dish, great for children. I'm going to make them in small ramekins, which my kids absolutely love. They have an individual one each. So to start with, you need to start with a roux, and that is basically using milk. And I'm going to warm this up, and one of the tricks to a good souffle is to get a really good tasting mixture. It's quite difficult to do that because the ingredients are so simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crush up a bay leaf, add a few slices of carrot and just a little bit of onion, and this is going to flavour the milk, making a really good base. So I'm going to put that on the stove just for a couple of minutes, just to heat up, and when that's boiled I'll let it cool. Meantime, get your souffle dishes. Now it does really help if you've got a dish with straight sides because the souffle will rise up out of it. It's not essential, but it's really good if you can. So little ramekin dishes, these are quick and easy to do. They cook much more quickly than a bigger one. But of course you could do a family size one if you wanted and put all the mixture into one big straight-sided dish. So into that I'm going to put my butter. Just going to pop that into the milk mixture while that all heats up. And then I'm going to break my eggs. Now I'm obviously using Maran eggs, and people often say, well, which is the best egg to buy? Is there a difference? And the answer is yes. For me, the most important thing is to always get an organic free-range egg. If you look for those two words, organic and free-range, organic means that it's been fed really well, the animal welfare is high, and free range means that the birds are allowed to roam outside, just like mine on the farm. They can forage, they can scratch, they can peck, they can spread their wings. You get healthier birds, and I really believe that healthier birds do mean healthier eggs. Now, oops, it's really important not to get any egg yolk in your egg white, because if you get egg yolk in it, then it won't whip, and you want to whip these into really nice soft semi-firm peaks. So I've got my 4 egg yolks and I've got my egg whites, so this is just about done. So we'll take this off the stove, and now you'd need to strain it so you catch all the flavoury bits and just use the lovely flavoured milk inside. And this is where you make your roux. So you need some flour. I'm going to use a plain white flour, an organic British flour, 2 spoonfuls. So that's about 2 ounces if you want to measure it, or 50 grams. And then you just add your milk gradually so that you can make a really nice smooth paste. You want to keep mixing it so you don't get any lumps in it. And then cook that out. I'll put that back on the stove top, just to cook it out a little bit, and then add some more of the lovely buttery milk liquid, just to really mix that all in beautifully. There we go. So then when you've mixed that all in, take it off the heat, bring it back over, and this is where you're going to add the egg yolks. And it's a good idea just to add them one at a time. Look at this. This is what I love about my Maran's hens. They produce the most fantastic golden egg yolk. Now, unfortunately, you can't take an egg yolk at face value, because a lot of modern intensive farming, they feed the chickens food with dye in it to make the egg yolks goldenly yellow. But with organic farming, you're not allowed to do that. So you can be sure if you buy an organic egg that's really fabulously golden and rich in colour, that it's going to give you that really great taste too, because the hens have been properly fed. So to that mixture, you can add some seasoning. Now, my children actually like quite strong flavours, so I'm going to add a little bit of French mustard to that. Quite a generous teaspoonful is going in. And if I was making it for my other half, I'd also use quite a lot of salt and pepper, but I'm not going to do that now. Maybe just a tiny little bit of pepper in there, but because the children are having it, including the toddler, he's going to have the salt-free version. So that's my mixture. And now what I need to do is whip the eggs. So I've got my eggs separated. So these are the 4 egg whites, and I'm going to whisk them. So this is about the consistency that you want. It's called soft peaks. So if you do this, it just comes up into a softly forming little mountain top. So now I'm going to make the cheesy bit. I've got about 3 ounces, 75 grams of quite strong cheddar. I always find that children actually like quite strong flavours, and cheese is a great way to get something simple that's really nutritious and packed with protein into the diet. So that's gone into the mixture there. You can add all sorts of things to a souffle. You know, you can add spinach, you can make vegetable soufflés, you can use different types of cheese. You know, if you like Stilton, for example, that's really quite a strong flavour. Now, to prepare the dishes, I'm going to use a little bit of grated parmesan just on the inside. I buttered these earlier, and what I'm doing is I'm just using the grated parmesan just to give a nice coating around the edge of the dish. It's not essential, but I find it just gives a really good golden crispy coating that the children in particular I think seem to enjoy. And then I'll keep a bit of the Parmesan cheese back just to sprinkle on the top as well for extra flavour. You don't need to use pure genuine Parmesan. You can use Gran Padano or something that tastes similar. It's less expensive, and I find it's just as good actually. So now this is the crucial bit. You've carefully whipped your egg whites, and these have got lots of air bubbles in them, and you want to keep those air bubbles so your souffle doesn't go flat. Otherwise your souffle will turn into a flan. So what you do is you just take a spoonful of the mixture, and you're just going to stir it in very gradually, spoon by spoon. It's called folding. You fold the mixture in, and what you're trying to do is keep the air bubbles and not flatten them. So this is the bit that does actually take a bit more time, and it's worth doing it a couple of spoons at a time and not just plonking all the mixture in together, otherwise it might go a bit flat. So just incorporate the egg yolks and cheese just like this. I'll just do these until we've got all that done. Just about there. So there we go, it's all incorporated. Hopefully hasn't lost too many of the air bubbles in the process. And then what you need to do is just spoon that gently into your greased ramekin dishes. I've probably got a little bit too much mixture here, so I'll just do the 3. And you can fill them almost to the top. Just allow a little bit of room, and hopefully they're going to rise. Okay, so now put them in the oven. Best thing to do is to put them on a baking tray and then put them in the oven. I've got an electric oven here. This is about 180 maybe 160 if you've got a fan oven. I think that's about gas mark 4. I don't know, we don't get the gas in the country. And leave them there for 20 minutes and hopefully they will rise until they're golden brown. So now a moment of truth. Hopefully they've risen. Oh, look at that, lovely. Perfect. Risen just above the edge, nice and firm to the top. Slightly golden brown. Lovely. So I'm going to serve these with just a few simple carrot and cucumber sticks. And don't think if you are somebody who's dairy-free, lactose intolerant, that you can't enjoy a great cheese souffle. My eldest boy, he's lactose intolerant, and I make these using lacto-free cheese, soy margarine, and they taste just as good. So they really are something that everyone can enjoy.
Mummy, cheese.